The one trick to more cold calls. What is going on? It is Eleazar and or Mr. Seven Figure Man. Thanks for clicking on this video. Before I begin, please leave a like down below and comment and subscribe if you have been following me for some time now, because I know there's a lot of you that message me on Instagram and it's super cool to see how many of you support me. But I also feel like there's some of you that don't comment because you're just lazy or you just don't want to. But if you can just show some appreciation, I truly appreciate it. But yeah, in this video, I want to go over how to get past your fears of cold calling, because if you can get good at cold calling, you are going to be more than prepared for the actual meeting so you can close your client, right? And this is the things that people don't think of, but I want to jump into all of these things, all of the factors that stop people and how to get through them, because at some point, not too long ago actually, I was completely scared of doing cold calls. I was shaking, I was nervous, and I just wouldn't do them because I just felt so overwhelmed and I just wouldn't end up doing them. But let's get right into it. Okay, so first off, I'm going to start from the basics. What is cold calling? So cold calling is just when you call someone that has no idea who you are. They've never heard of you. They don't know you. It's a complete stranger. Okay, so that is cold calling. And there's many different ways you can cold call, right? You can find numbers off Facebook. You can find numbers off Google Directory. There's so many ways you can, find those businesses. But I'll give you an example. Okay, for me, when I work with real estate agents and personal trainers and gyms, I would go up on, if it was real estate agents, I would look them up on Zillow. I would get their number from there, copy paste it into Skype, and then call them. If it's personal trainers or gyms, I would set them up on my Pipe Drive. I would have my Skype set up on the other side of my screen, and then I would just copy paste the number and then call them right there. So I kept it pretty simple, pretty basic, right? But for me, the way I got past my fear of cold calling was a little bit different than some people. For me, I was just go out and get it. I just went out and just cold called as much as I can, because I knew that if I got past my fear and I just cold called every single day, let's say 50 calls a day every single day for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, my confidence was going to go from here to here. And one of the toughest things with cold calling is, first off, you don't know what the customers are going to tell you, the prospects, right? You don't know if they're going to say yes, they're not interested, whatever, or you don't know if they're going to ask you a question that you don't have an answer to. And I want you to know that that's perfectly okay. Because when you do cold calls, especially when you're a beginner, you don't really know what you're doing with your business or how things are going to work out. They are going to ask you questions that you don't know anything at all about, right? So, but here is what you want to do in those situations, okay? Because I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this, but I want to get this part through. So when they ask you a question that you don't have an answer to, what you can do is just say, be honest with them, right? Be direct and straightforward and say, hey, to be completely honest, I've never gotten this question asked before. Let me ask one of my colleagues, because he is the one that runs all of this stuff. Let me ask him and I'll get back to you on that. Does that sound fair? Right. Now you said it very professionally, you said it confidently, and you got that out of the way. Okay, the other thing is there's 4 things that you can get out of a phone call. Usually say 3, but there's actually 4. Okay, and the third one is going to be sort of an unrealistic one. But the first thing is that they can tell you that they are not interested. If they're not interested, no worries. You hang up the phone and you move on to the next person. The second thing is that they can hang up on you. This one hurts. Even when people hang up on me now, it probably even hurts me more, because I already see myself as a professional, and the fact that they don't value me, the fact that they don't see what I'm worth, besides everything, all the success that I have on the side, it hurts me even more. So the second thing is they can hang up on you. The third thing they can do, but it is very unrealistic, is that they are gonna hang up the phone and they're gonna go find you where you're at physically. So if they come right here in my room and they find me and they do something to me to hurt me, that is once again unrealistic. That is not gonna happen. But this is the worst thing that can happen. The third thing is the worst thing that can happen. Yeah, that can't happen. That's not gonna happen. All you're doing is calling someone, right? And the fourth thing that can happen is they say yes. You guys schedule a meeting, or they're open to your offer, and you guys move forward from there. And that's awesome. That's great. All right, but how do you get to those points? How do you get to even making the call? Because most people can't even make the calls. Like, they're just so scared to pick up the phone and do it. And like I said, I used to be in your shoes, so I can relate to you. But the number one thing you have to do is be certain and be convinced in whatever it is that you're offering. So if you are offering social media marketing, if you're offering one-on-one coaching, if you're offering Facebook advertisements, you need to know and tell yourself in your head 1,000 times that the product or service that you're offering is a life changer. It is the best. There is nothing better. Whatever you do, you have worked hard, you've studied, you've taken programs and courses, and you have done this for a long time. And the fact that you know what goes into this, you know how much it's worth to a customer or a business, right? So having that confidence and that certainty in your head that yes, this does work, you want to rub that energy off onto and that those emotions onto your prospects, right? And when I was working for Ty Lopez, this was one of the things that I learned from him. But he said emotional transference. You want to build up your emotions so high and so great about your product or service that you're able to transfer them to your prospect. Because if let's say, like, once again, I'm selling social media marketing, I know what kind of results I can deliver, right? Because not only have I done it, but even before that, when I had no results, when I had no clients, I still told myself, okay, I took this program. I know how to run Facebook ads. I know how to set this stuff up. I'm the best. Let's go out there and get it. And in the meeting, I would present myself that way. I would talk and I would speak with certainty because I would get my emotions up. I would get my confidence to a level where it matched or it surpassed their confidence, and then I would rub it off on them, right? And they would think to themselves, wow, this guy is very confident in what he's pitching. I'm sure if he's so certain that's going to work, then it probably does work, right? And that's the second thing is just knowing and believing that what it is that you're doing is going to change your life. All right. And the next thing is have a script. Have a simple script. If you don't have a script and you want one, I'll give you one for free. I might, maybe not, but I might post it in the link down below. If not, just shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll give you the exact same cold call script that I use because I want you to get some success with it. But have a script. And here's the mistake that people make with the script is that they follow the script to the T and it sounds robotic. It sounds terrible. First off, when you're doing cold calls in that area, and you're using scripts, do not be salesy first off, and don't be robotic, right? There's a difference. So you don't want to be a sleazy salesman. So the majority of the people, and this is what I see all the time, hey, well, my name's Eliezer, and the reason for my call today is blah, blah, blah. And they sound so salesy, so scripted, right? The reason for my call, like everyone says that, the reason for my call is, boom, hang up. Because prospects are so used to getting that line. So for me, for example, I'll give you an example. I mean, you can watch it on my YouTube. It's like, I don't think that I'm just talking. I actually show it to you. I'm not just telling you, I show it to you. But in my first cold call video or second cold call video, I called a real estate agent from Vegas. And I cold called him, or he called me because I positioned it that way. But I said, hey, man, to be honest, I'm just looking to work with one of the best real estate agents in Las Vegas. Are you able to take on more clients? And I mind tricked him into thinking that I was a client of his. But he asked me, like, yeah, like, I have some room. Like, what kind of house are you looking for? And I said this. I said, oh, I'm actually not looking for a house. I'm actually a marketer, and I want to help you with Facebook ads. Are you open to hearing more about it? And at the 3-minute mark, he said no, but I ended up taking the call to 13 minutes. We scheduled a phone call, and that's what ended up happening. All right, so I guess the point of that was to tell you that, like, you need to not only believe in what you're selling, but you want to think outside of the box. So I didn't say the reason for my call is, or the reason I wanted you to call me was, no, I said, hey, like, I want to work with the best real estate agent. Is that you? And that caught him off guard. And that kind of did something different than what other marketers do. Because like I said, most marketers, they do the same thing. The reason for my call today is, my name is Eliezer. I run a social media marketing agency. And the reason for my call is, they don't care about that stuff. Like, you're just another person. You're just another robot. Another sleazy salesman. So you want to be the best. You want to be the best cold caller, the best salesman. And the way you do that is by thinking outside of the box and being different, right? So catch them off guard. I mean, there was this one time that this lady told me, or she asked me, I cold called her and she was about to hang up on me. And she asked me, oh, what are you selling? And I wasn't going to take that because I didn't really like her attitude. But I said, oh, it depends. What are you looking to buy? And she started laughing. She started cracking up. And she said, well, I don't know. I mean, like, it depends. Like, what are you offering? I said, well, I'm glad I got you laughing now. First off, my name's Eliezer. I just wanted to ask you. So I do Facebook advertisements. I wanted to ask you if you were satisfied with the results that you've been getting from Zillow. And long story short, I ended up scheduling a meeting with her off of that. So I went completely off script. I made her laugh. I built a rapport right there in a small way. And then she gave me some time of her day to schedule a meeting with us, right? So you want to, like I said, be creative, be confident, just be fun. Don't be salesy. Don't be a sleazy salesman. That's just ugly. All right. Think outside the box, be different. And now that you have that, right? So you have the confidence, you have the certainty, you have the belief, you have the script. You are not being a salesman or you're not being robotic, right? How do you pick up the phone and dial now? Like what else do you have to tell yourself? What else do you have to do to prepare? Honestly, the best thing, I'm just going to be brutally honest, is just do it. Just go out and do it, because Think about it this way, okay? Cold calls are your biggest fear. Let's just say cold calls are your biggest fear because they were one of mine for sure. And I played it smart. I wanted to just build the experience. I wanted to get past my fear. So not only is doing cold calls and getting past your fear going to help you in this area, but if you train your brain to get past the things that make you uncomfortable in any situation in life, you made it. Because if you can do things that put you out of your comfort zone, whatever it is, whenever it is, you are going to be a step ahead from your competition because they're not going to be willing to do that. So it's just a matter of how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to succeed? Right? How bad do you want to get a meeting and how bad do you want to close a client? And that's what I told myself. So I started just picking up the phone and said, "Okay, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get some meetings, and if I don't, even if I don't get meetings for a whole week, I'm still gonna build the experience." And what happened with that first week of doing cold calls every single day and practicing was not only did my confidence go from here to here, but I got asked so many questions that I didn't have an answer to. And when I got asked those questions at the end of every call, I would have those questions written down, so I would find an answer to those questions. So eventually I just did cold calls so much that I got asked every question in the book. And by now I have an answer, not to everything, but I have an answer to mostly all the questions that I get asked, right? So, but the only way you're going to get to that level, and this is just me being honest with you once again, is by telling you that you have to just go out and do the cold calls. You're not going to have an answer to everything all the time, but if you just do it more and more and more, you're going to get better at it. It's just like anything else. Think about basketball, think about football. You know, I'm a big basketball guy. In order to be the best at the game, you have to practice day in and day out. Michael Jordan was practicing all the time, and what ended up happening was when it came to game time, he was more than prepared ahead of everyone, right? So if you prepare during the cold calls, once you get to the meeting, you're going to be solid because cold calls are the hardest. They're harder than meetings probably, right? And if you can get really good at cold calls, if you can get confident and be certain what it is that you're offering, when it comes to the meeting and you've already done over 300, 400 cold calls, it's a piece of cake for you because you've already put yourself out of your zone, right? So that is the foundation. That is where I started. That is how I want you to do it. Just be certain, be a beast on the phone, all right? Don't take no for an answer. Just be relentless because like I said, at the end of the day, the worst thing that they would possibly be able to do is go to your house, find you and hurt you. But that is obviously not going to happen. Okay, that is the absolute worst thing. So hopefully this video helped you out. If you want the cold call script, send me a DM on Instagram or comment down below and I'll hook you up because I want to see you succeed. Besides that, I'm going to leave it at this, okay? If you are looking for some sort of one-on-one help, one-on-one mentorship, I will also leave a link down below. It is going to be a chance for you to schedule a call with me. So I'm opening the spot up for a few more students. So as if you know, I coach students with sales and social media marketing. My students get great results. But if you want to schedule a one-on-one call with me, it's not a robot or someone from my team. It's myself. Just book a call down below, watch the video, go through the process, and I'll get on the phone to see if you're a good fit for me to work with. But besides that, this has been Mr. Seven Figure Man, and I'll see you in the next one.